my God. Here we go from two ends of the country.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everyone? I'm Manny Oso, and I'm doing something special today. I'm actually broadcasting with somebody from the other side of the country. Here she is, though. Check her out.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Nicky Trendz.
And where are you at, Nikki?
I'm in LA. So
Can you hear me over there?
This is happening bi-coastal at the same time. But you are listening to Bubble Bath Stories, your favorite 15-minute podcast where we start the conversation so you can finish it. As you can see, it's a little different. I'm in LA. Manny is holding on the fort in New York. How's it going over there, Manny?
It's going fine. You know, it's Labor Day weekend, so the whole city is just up in arms with everything.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy hot over here, so I can't wait to go home.
Yeah, I bet. But you are over there for something special, actually. You're over there because...
Well, if you can read, you know that I went to the Emmys.
Yes, that's right.
Let's put the asterisk mark. It's the Emmys of Creative Arts.
I didn't even know there were more than one Emmys.
I don't know. Nobody pays attention to it. So the Emmys of Creative Arts is more about like the technical stuff, lighting. It's also more shows that are variety.
Mm-hmm.
And more like streaming services. So there's really not a definitive place for them like there is for primetime, where most of it is scripted. All the shows are at night.
Yeah, well, you know, it's crazy that I'm sure there's derivatives of all of the major awards, now that you mention it that way.
No, I think that Emmys are the only ones who have creative arts.
Yeah,
because the Oscars just have the Oscars. They just don't get, they don't get to be on TV. But I'm sure I have so many cool stories. So, guys, as we're recording this, I have not spoken to Manny like at all.
Yeah, she hasn't. I've been very curious about these stories because I, just like the rest of y'all, have only been able to go by her reels and her stories on IG. I have no idea exactly what has been going down because at a certain point she stops recording. And
oh my God,
I'm sure she got into places where she can't.
There must be a new iPhone dropping because my phone was just acting a fool. But anyway, so many cool things to talk to you guys about. First, I got the opportunity to go courtesy of the show that I work for because it was nominated for the first season. And they were super gracious and like flew out the staff, hotel flights included. So it was a lot of fun. But I have to tell you, you're gonna fucking die. So Seth Rogen was at the show. I don't know why. He was probably supporting what's his name? Judd Apatow?
Judd
Apatow. Oh my God, I can't say his name.
The guy who directs all their movies.
Yeah. So he was there. And so we were walking. The ceremony was over. The award ceremony was over. We're walking to the after party, all happening in the same complex.
Yeah.
And my coworker goes, "Oh shit, look, that's Seth Rogen." And I looked over and I was like, "Oh my God." Smoking a joint, okay?
Oh, yeah?
So I was like, "Oh my God, okay. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna be super cool about it." So in my very unfunctioning purse, I had to have like another case within my purse for like all my lady stuff.
Oh, the purse.
Yes, and
for another day, but that purse.
And the joint was in there because, like, I didn't want the security to take it away. And so I'm like fumbling and I'm like fucking nervous. I am like shaking because I'm like, this has to be timed really well. So I finally get the joint and I very suddenly go, "Excuse me, gentlemen, do you have a lighter I can borrow?"
Yes.
He's like, yeah, sure. Mind you, I had a lighter. Mind you, I had a lighter. I was like, ah. So
get rid of this thing.
Right. And I would have asked him to pass it, but COVID's still a thing. So I'm trying to light this thing. Mind you, my phone doesn't fit in my purse. My purse is in my hand with my phone and this joint. And I'm trying to light it. And it's fucking windy. And in the most gentleman fashion, he's like covering the lighter so that I can.
Oh my gosh.
Yes!
Seth Rogen helped you light a joint.
Yes! And I was like, oh my, thank you so much. I have to make sure I'll make sure to always give lighters back. He goes, oh, well, I always take those. I was like, oh, you. And it was the best part of my night.
Yo, you should have called him the lighter gremlin. TM, because I came up with that concept a while ago. You should have called him you lighter gremlin.
Oh my, I mean,
we made a whole movie about it.
Isn't that what, like, when you meet certain people, like whatever their personality is, you're like, I gotta, like, if it was Snoop Dogg, if it was anybody who smokes weed, who's like very known for smoking weed, and I didn't take that opportunity, I would have felt you would have been really disappointed.
You would have been a bad fan.
Yeah. Also, you would have been so mad at me. I wouldn't be able to be like, I walked by Seth Rogen.
Yeah, right. I mean that's as far as stoner stories go, that's a pretty good stoner story.
That's not even the fucking best part, right? So this is all happening. I'm not paying attention to anything else. You know me when it comes to celebrities. I'm very weird about asking for pictures. Like I won't, whatever. So like, I'm like, this is it. Like nobody's ever gonna believe me. I can't fucking wait to tell Manny. I obviously could not call you. You would have killed me because of the time difference. Yeah. And I was just like, this is it. Like all I have is this mental picture. Lo and behold, one of my other coworkers that was there, who's also like a fellow creep, she goes, I got the best picture of you and Seth lighting up. And it turns out she must have taken like an Instagram story or something like that of it. And the caption reads, oh, Seth Rogen helping this nice lady light up the joint. Oh, but like, and I was like, oh my God, you have a picture. This is so awesome. Okay, let's throw that story out.
We got the picture, right?
Yes, I got the picture.
We're posting that later. We're posting that later, folks.
So then that's like, so we get in there. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking say hi to people. I'm not gonna be, I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna come back here. Peter Jackson was there. My coworkers were having complete hard-ons for that. They were like, we gotta go. I would like, you think we could go say hi? And then they were like lame. None of them said hi. I was like, I'm gonna go fucking say hi to this guy. I mean, obviously the most popular guy there. So I go to where he's at, and he got one award. He had a jacket and suit. Great. By the second award, his jacket was off, tie untied, sleeve rolled up, like he just finished walking in the heat 10 blocks. He was
like, can I take this thing off already?
Yeah, he was super over it. So then he goes, he's like getting ready to leave, and I think he was with his daughter. And so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going for it. I'm going, congratulations on your win. Big fan. He made no eye contact with me. I don't even think he fucking heard me, but his daughter turned around and thanked me. So I'm taking that as a I spoke to Peter Jackson win.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say he probably could tell you weren't that huge of a fan.
I know, but fuck it, right? Like
if a real fan bumped into Peter Jackson, they would have gone down to their knees and praised him.
I mean,
that's how he could tell you weren't. He was probably like, "Oh, someone trying to get a job."
No, well, I don't think he heard me. Like he was like really trying to get the fuck out of there. So then, boom, throw that out the way. So get to the drink line, and guess who is in front of me?
Who?
Bill fucking Nye.
Damn.
Guy with his wife. And I tell shout out to Veronica, because that's the person who got my picture with Rogan. So I like wave her down, and I'm like, look who's in front of me. So she's like comes over to me, and we're trying to create a plan so that I get this fucking picture without, just me being cool.
Get a picture without asking for a picture.
Yeah. Well, then all the people that were with me left the line. So I was on the drink line by myself, by the way. But I made a friend of like an Academy person who puts the whole, like helps put the whole event together. So win for me. Anyway, Bill Nye's wife gives us the drink menu, and we're just having a fucking casual conversation about what drink to order, what it is that you like. And Bill's like, oh, I'm gonna get this one. And Mrs. Bill Nye's like, oh, I'm gonna get this one. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting this one. And it was fucking great. Like, I can't even I was just like, this is wild.
Just so you know, the way you set that story up for us, it was like, it was just me and this a lonely bar and a famous rocket scientist, and we're both whistling for a drink.
Well, okay, so we're on the dance floor. Bill Nye's with his wife. I'm trying to get a dance circle together because I really feel in my heart that would have been. Words cannot explain how dope that would have been. Nobody was picking up what I was putting down at all. So I was like, all right, forget that. Our very own Dan Harmon was at the party, lit as fuck, having the time of his life. I was like, I need to fucking say hi to this guy. Like, I love everything this guy does. I love Solar Opposites. I love Rick and Morty.
You recognize them from across the room?
No, I didn't. At first, I didn't see him.
Yeah.
My other coworkers were like, oh my God, like, they were so hype about it. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, wait, where is he? He was right across from me on the drink line, right behind Bill Nye. It was like, this is a trifecta. Like, I have to make this work. Actually, I really am a fan of Dan Harmon. So I was like, I don't want to fuck that up. So it just took too long. Like, I went to go and somebody like kind of curved me to take a picture, and then they left. So at one point we locked eyes because he was pretty drunk and he was dancing, and I was just trying to not be awkward. So I was dancing. So I feel like we had like this weird drunk distance dancing situation. Anyway, long story short, I go to the bathroom, I come back, and I'm like, I see him on the other side of the party, and I was just like, sorry for interrupting your conversation. I just want to let you know, like, I'm a huge fan, and like, you know, congratulations on everything. And he was so sweet. He was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I was like, oh my God. It was so cool. I made so many like random ass friends. Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
I said hi to him. I know I can't pronounce his name. Thank God I had a different approach, but I kind of just went up to him too, and I was like, I'm such a huge fan of yours, and like, congratulations on winning, because he won for something. I totally forgot what. It was a documentary. And I was just like, oh, congratulations. And he was super cool and everything, and I made so many random friends along the way of like who work on these super successful shows that won awards. I mean, like, I even got to like, someone let me hold their award. It was like fucking dope.
We're gonna post that picture too.
I know, I gotta find that picture. I gotta hunt the person down and find it. I met a lot of people and knew no names. So
well, I mean, I'm glad that you ended up going, because you know, you had this whole thing going on where you didn't want to go at first.
Okay, so check it out. The show that I work on, I'm on season 2. The show got nominated for season 1.
Yeah.
So when they announced this, I did feel a little weird about taking this opportunity because I hadn't worked that first season.
Yeah.
And put in the work that is being necessarily honored. So I did feel weird about taking it. I mean, I was like excited, but not excited in a like, it was almost like I was wary of whether I should go or not.
Yeah.
And I remember I spoke to our friend Danielle, shout out to Danielle, and she was one of the first people I called, and I was like, what the fuck? Because all I've been talking about is I want to go to the Emmys. I want to start working on shows that go to and here this happens, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know where to go.
I don't know. And Danielle was really just saying, well, just think about all the work you did that you never got any kind of like perk for or any kind of reward for. And that like helped me feel better about it. But being there with other people in the industry
validated it.
Yeah, and they're stars. They're just like us. It was just such a surreal experience. It's an award show that everybody knows, regardless if it's not the prime time.
Yeah.
It's such a recognized statue. And for me to be there you know, was a big deal, but it also felt tainted because it wasn't hard work that I put in that was actually being dominated. So I
Well,
did have a
so
problem.
see, that's the thing. Like that. Now that you bring that up, there's definitely that word. Like, we even put it down here. That word you're throwing around, this imposter syndrome.
Syndrome. Yes.
Do you think that's what you're going through?
I mean, in that moment, first of all, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Our generation and the generation after us, we like to throw terminologies and diagnoses
Yeah.
around like it's you know, a
All
person.
right. So if those who don't know, imposter syndrome, a psychological occurrence in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud.
Yeah.
So you feel like you got through this?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm a fraud. I worked like 10 years in this industry. I worked hard, but you know,
What do you think makes out of all the huge lists, what do you think is like the most prevalent thing that makes you feel like it should be different?
um, I don't know. What do you mean by that?
Well, the reason we're bringing this up.
I think like I don't know. Like I said, had I worked on the first season, I would have felt good. You know what it is? A lot of people left that worked that first season. And
Yeah.
so, you know, they didn't get to go, which, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, they weren't invited. They couldn't go. And that also feels weird. Like, again, I'm taking a prize from somebody else who, like, went through whatever
Yeah.
to make sure that these shoots and everything was working. So really the only thing was to either one, get over myself, go, two, shut the hell up, not go, or you know, I can't go back in time. I didn't work that first season.
Well,
So
do you still get to put this accolade under your belt?
I mean I wouldn't. I guess it's more important that, you
I
know,
was gonna say it sounds like money in the bank to me.
well no, it's more like, yeah, I worked on this nominated show.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But it was so crazy because there were people there who worked like Top Chef or Love on the Spectrum or, you know, these shows that are really shows that
Yeah.
have been making impacts who that are well known in pop culture, who I met that were just like doubting themselves. They didn't feel like they should have been there. They felt they weren't as adequate because they didn't get a statue. Like maybe
Yeah.
everybody else on the team, like all the execs, got it, but you know, I met the AP, the associate producer for Love on the Spectrum US, and she was a little hard on herself because she felt like I did, you know, she worked hard and she didn't get a statue. Her boss did not like this
Yeah.
at all, and but her boss picked her up and said, "Who cares? Who cares that you didn't get a statue? Like everybody recognizes the hard work that you did. Everybody knows that, you know, without what you did, it would have been hard for like the continuance of whatever was happening for the show to make it. It's a team effort. It
Yeah.
just so happens that executives are the ones who get all the perks."
Yeah. Right. I mean, I've always liked that you go for the big shots still, like you'll put all your work into like a 2 week project because you know that you have what it takes and that you can go to no sleep. Like a couple weeks ago, you did that project with the sports brand. I don't know if we're allowed to say the name.
Yeah, that
And,
Nike
and
commercial.
like I don't know, I don't think anybody could have just put in all the hours that out of just the drop of a hat like you did. You did
I
really well with that. And I like that you do that because it every time that you do, you get less and less with this whole imposter syndrome thing. And
I
it's
mean
funny
that
that, and it's funny that you mentioned people there that maybe feel like they go through the same thing because a lot of people do. I mean, I've
yeah,
gone through it too.
no.
There was a time where I was being put in charge of an entire division of a solar office, and I was like, man, I was trying to get out of this business.
Yeah. I mean, I no nobody is, I mean, even the most confident of people
Yeah,
I imagine at some point still feel like this internal struggle. Like, don't get me wrong, just because I felt like that about going to the Emmys doesn't mean that when it comes to my career, I don't feel like I can do, like, I'm less than. I always feel like, well, what the fuck? I could do this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a big, like, whatever. I could do this. I've done it before, whatever. But it's more like, I wanted so bad to go to the Emmys.
Yeah.
I got this opportunity to go, but it was.
I mean, there's some pretty extreme cases of it. So you're definitely like in the shallow end of the pool.
Well, what's
Well,
like
so like
deep
I'll give
end?
you an example. Like the Maya Angelou,
Okay.
she said once, "I have written 11 books, but each time I think, uh-oh, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody, and they're gonna find me out." Apparently, she's gone through like like people have like published her saying talking about how she's gone through imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Other big names too. I'll name a couple since we got a little bit of time. Everybody's favorite TV dad, Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I believe that too because when I read that, I was thinking about it more too. Like, now that I think about it, I'm not saying he's a terrible actor, but is he really a lot better than other actors out there? He's not even the best Tom out there. Tom Holland makes me cry every time.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
Michelle Obama, she goes through imposter syndrome.
but it's also like, well, is it just a term that we throw around for not being confident, or is this like a debilitating thing that people go through that's like it almost hinders their career?
It does actually because there's the it. I don't think imposter syndrome itself is something. Since we're not doctors, we can't, and we've never been clinically tested for it. I don't know if we can say what is or isn't for it. But I did read an article where they did talk about how people who go through this internally, they actually mess up their whole career. There's these things in office culture. It's called organizational citizenship behavior, and
Yeah.
it's just a fancy term for things that you do to go the extra mile at work. Like when everybody's staying late just to get a couple papers put in.
Yeah.
Or like if you work in the office but there's a spill, it's not exactly your job to clean it, but
Yeah.
I got you up, I cleaned it,
Right.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Little things that help the day go through. And what they were saying in this article was that folks who are going through some type of internal imposter syndrome on their own, whatever level that, it affects them in the way that they're working harder on their own projects to where they don't put any effort in these other projects that everybody else
Oh.
together. And
Yeah.
in turn, it's that, but in turn, the people on the other side are looking at you like, what's wrong with him? Why doesn't he want to come and say happy birthday with everyone? Oh, apparently he's always working.
Ugh.
But
Yeah.
the person who's always working is thinking like, man, I got to keep working, or else like they're gonna think that I'm not as good as I really am. But really, you're just not participating in the rest of the world.
I mean, look at the people who participate too much in the rest of the world.
Yeah, right.
Like, and that don't do any fucking work.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, when they talk about this, they say that there's these 6 characteristics, right? And if you can be attributed to at least 2 of these characteristics, then you may be going through imposter syndrome.
All right, what are the 6? Let's
Okay,
see.
okay. The first one is the imposter cycle. The imposter cycle is basically when you think yourself you're an imposter at work, and therefore you start doing actual things that make you look like an imposter, and in turn it makes you feel more like an imposter, and it just keeps going around and around. So basically it's like I don't like the whole thing at work that I said, like you just keep doing things to make yourself look bad, but it doesn't make you look bad, but you make yourself feel bad, so you keep doing those things.
No, definitely not. I mean, that took me a long time, but definitely. Okay, I'm not number 1. So
The second one, the need to be special or the best.
define special.
The best. I think the key word is the need.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's me definitely. I need to feel special. That's why I make such a big deal about when they buy us lunch
parties.
and it's pizza. And I'm like, I'm a fucking adult. I can buy my own pizza.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, yeah, I fucking love pizza. I will say, I might have something like that. I think I give off this like weird vibe that maybe, I'm a freelancer, so I'm constantly going all the time.
Yeah.
I have a
I
very
think that, no, there's a difference between doing your job and expecting a lot for yourself versus being the need to be seen as special or the best.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're
I
going
don't mean
for.
at all. I like to just be a name. I like to be
I don't. I definitely need to be seen as special or the best.
All right, what's the
All right, the next one is having Superman/Superwoman characteristics.
No.
Now, I had to think
You know
about.
what that means? I'm just gonna tell you no.
I I always talk about being in the sun. I think also it might have to do with like doing good, not for the sake of good, but just to be seen doing good.
Oh yeah, like that is hella. Yeah, it's fake.
Like, well, I filed all my paperwork.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I don't have that.
Okay.
But I hate people like that. Are you like that secretly? Have you?
No, I'm not like that. Okay. The next one is, I think we all get this, the fear of failure.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty common. I can't believe that's like.
That's something we all just have to get over.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Denial of ability or discounting of praises. You do that.
Yes, and so many people that I met yesterday were doing that as well. That, like I said, like the lady who works on Love on the Spectrum, like her boss, like, you are beautiful, like hyping her up. And at some point, I was like, girl, fuck these haters.
Yeah, right. I mean, I see that in people a lot of times where you'll give them a compliment and they'll be like, no, it's no. Like,
Yeah,
just like I have told a
compliment.
person, like, just take the compliment.
Yeah, just take the compliment. Well, I like to be like, thank you. Is that what the words you were looking for? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then we can just move on.
And the last one is the feeling of guilt about success.
No.
No?
Nah. No.
So if you feel two or more of those characteristics characterize you, you may be going through imposter syndrome. I think I got 3.
I think that's a different topic for another show.
I'm gonna go ahead and post this list, and you guys, if you think you're going through imposter syndrome, you might want to take Manny's list, Manny's test.
Manny's test. No, I think I feel really good. I think, the other thing was like I haven't really made a lot of friends. Like everybody's been here for a long time, so they have their own crew, and I was like out here by myself, and I missed you so much. I was like, everybody's so lame. But once I was at the party, once I was there, once I was able to just like let go and just like obviously in a responsible way, because I am among my peers, and just like make it fun. It was fun. And like there was a couple people who were like, oh my God, I wish I would have just stuck with you most of the night. Cause I was like, yeah, I was talking to this person and this person.
Well, see, I mean, I think anybody and anyone who's listening, and obviously if we can ever help somebody going through something, I think the episode is worth it. That's what it is. Like, put it in perspective. You went to the show and saw all these people talk about how they felt the same, and look at them, they're at an award show. Like, like all these people cannot feel like failures because they've all been nominated for success.
Yeah, but isn't it wild? Like they were actually like people were actually nominated. I wasn't gonna be on stage if they fucking called me. Like we were barely in the audience.
Yeah.
So.
And when I was reading that list of characteristics, it also like it was funny to read it because it was like, I'm sure it's what I'm saying, putting it into perspective, even saying like, well, if I'm not any of these, then I'm obviously good. If you deserve something, take it, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't discount it. God provides.
Yeah, white men have been doing it for centuries.
Yes. God did.
Honestly, that's really what helped me get through. It was more like there are people who don't do shit, who like soak up every opportunity of every perk. And why am I fighting it? Like, what? I don't get a special medal for fighting it.
I mean, the opposite end of the spectrum of imposter syndrome would be the old phrase, the rich get richer. People who just take the opportunities that are there, like they're there. Yeah. Just take them. You should never feel bad about taking an opportunity that's there for you.
I forgot to say this. I did meet the guys who created Southside on HBO Max, and that was like one of my highlights.
They're pretty cool people to meet.
There's like, I only met one of the guys, but he was like so cool, and I was just like, I'm such a fan of the show. Like, I heard you guys on your Breakfast Club interview. He goes, oh my god, that was like you. He had like a whole ass conversation with me, and it was like so dope. Even though he said deep dish pizza was the best, and he got booed on stage, I still felt.
Yeah, he said that on Wait, Don't Tell Me too.
Yeah. Oh my god, he was on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Yeah. It was a really funny episode.
Oh my god.
But they both were. They answered for each other.
That up. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, he probably would have respected you.
Oh my god! Why didn't you tell me?
I should have been there. I would have been like, I heard your Wait, Don't Tell Me interview.
If you would have been there, you and me would have been power couple. Okay, we would have been divide and conquer. We would have been together. We would have known. We would have helped each other out. So hurry up and write your script so we could be there.
Well, guys, I think this is more than 15 minutes.
More than 15 minutes. If you guys want to catch up with us, you can catch us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Am I missing anything? I think that's it. You could follow, just look at the ticker. You can follow us on all those things at Bubble Bath Stories. You can also find all of the craziness that happened at the Emmys in our highlights. And if you want to know what I'm up to, you can find me on IG at Nicky Trendz.
You can find me at Got No Time for This on IG.
And
don't worry about it.
Oh, my watch is going off. And until next time, you silly, silly fools.
Bye.
Bye.